Chinese government leaders say they are following through on their vow to crack down on corruption. They say they've looked into the dealings and backgrounds of more than 55,000 civil servants, and they're pledging anyone found guilty of wrongdoing will be punished. NHK World's Takeshi Togawa has the story.
During the National People's Congress, which closed last weekend, a news conference by a leading official of Shanxi province drew a lot of attention.
The posts of nearly 300 provincial government executives remain vacant.
Wang Ruyin said the investigation of these officials is hampering administrative operations. The crackdown on corruption has affected some development projects in Shanxi province. One is a town redevelopment program launched under the prodding of a local mayor. The plan was to tear down old houses and build high-rise condominiums. But construction is said to have been suspended since the mayor was investigated for corruption. In front of City Hall, this sign says, "Let's establish a clean image."
Civil servants must be worried because they have something to hide. They're probably all afraid of being investigated.
The local government opened an account at this bank to deposit funds accepted by civil servants as tokens of appreciation. It's an official measure to fight corruption. Bureaucrats are being urged to voluntarily deposit bribes accepted from business people and other parties. The national and local governments manage the account.
The account is already open. We're also building a warehouse to store expensive items.
China's state-run television frequently broadcasts reports on corruption.
今天备受关注的安徽省原副省长倪发科受贿巨额财产来源不明一案，在山东东营中级人民法院公开宣判。
The former executive was sentenced to 17 years in prison for granting favors to a real estate developer in return for bribes. He is said to have received a total of about $1.2 million in bribes in the form of precious stones.
Ordinary people would never be given gifts of precious stones. They were given to me because I worked as an executive.
China's leaders are responding to the people and their expectations by cracking down on shady dealings. At the same time, they want to ensure the Communist Party's one-party rule.
We will eradicate corruption. All cases will be investigated and punished without exception.
China's leadership under President Xi Jinping will likely continue to promote anti-corruption as a key policy. They want to achieve stability and maintain a firm grip on power. Takeshi Togawa, NHK World.